If you knew that a single sentence, just one carefully chosen line, could make her heart beat faster and her memory hold on to you for years, would you still waste your time using weak phrases like "you're hot" or "nice dress"? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our channel. Most men have absolutely no idea how powerful their words truly are. They believe attraction is all about looks, money, or status. But the reality is much deeper. What truly separates you from the rest is how you make her feel when she's around you. And here's the real shift in perspective. One of the most underestimated weapons you have is a well-timed, delivered compliment. Music. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever watched a woman's entire energy change just because of something a man said? Music, one sentence delivered the right way, can permanently alter how she sees you, not just for a few seconds, but for a very long time. Music today, I'm breaking down 8 powerful compliments that go far beyond surface level flattery. These are not weak, try-hard lines that make you sound desperate or forgettable. These are deep psychological compliments that trigger something primal in her mind, making her feel truly noticed, respected, and drawn to you on a deeper level. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're throwing around generic compliments like confetti, "you look cute," "nice outfit," "you're hot," then you're just another guy blending into the noise of her DMs. But if you understand the Stoic approach to influence and attraction, the power of self-control, intentional speech, and the way you carry yourself, you'll realize the real power doesn't lie in how much you say. It lies in how you say it, and more importantly, how your words make her feel. So, if you're ready to elevate your presence, stand apart from every other man, and leave a lasting impression, stay focused. But first, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to transform how you approach relationships through the mindset of Stoicism. Every video is designed to help you master your inner world and build deeper, more meaningful connections. Compliment 1, that fragrance you're wearing is intoxicating. It smells incredible. Let's start with something most men completely overlook, yet it's incredibly powerful: scent. If you understand the deeper psychology of attraction, you'll realize something game-changing here. A woman's scent is one of the strongest triggers for memory and desire. Think about how often a specific smell instantly takes you back to a moment in time. A warm summer night, a hug from someone you cared about, a memory that feels frozen in place. That's because scent is directly connected to the brain's limbic system, the part responsible for emotion and memory. So when you compliment a woman's fragrance, music, you're not just saying you smell good. You're saying that her presence lingers with you even after she's gone. And that idea is deeply music intoxicating. Most men don't notice details like this. They default to shallow lines like "you look nice" or music that dresses cute. But a man who notices how she smells, the energy her scent carries, and the subtle effect it has on him stands out immediately. Music, he's present. He's attentive. And most importantly, he's different. This is where Stoicism comes into play. A Stoic man understands that words carry music weight. He doesn't speak just to fill silence. He doesn't hand out compliments to chase music validation. Every word he chooses is deliberate, intentional, and meaningful. So when you say that fragrance you're wearing is addictive, say it calmly. Say music it with quiet certainty, not nervous excitement. Say it like someone who knows his worth and has nothing to prove. When you do, pay attention to her body language. She'll remember that moment, not just that day, but every time she wears that perfume again. That's not coincidence. That's psychological attraction. Compliment number 2. Your smile could light up an entire room. Let's break this down because this one carries more depth than most men realize. A smile isn't just a physical feature. It's an energy. It's a frequency. It's something that can shift the atmosphere the second she walks in. When you tell a woman her smile could brighten a whole room, you're not talking about her teeth or lips. You're acknowledging her presence. You're telling her that her energy has impact, that she has the ability to change the emotional tone of a space simply by being there. Think music about it. Have you ever been in a room that felt heavy, tense, or disconnected, and then someone walked in with a genuine smile and suddenly everything felt lighter? That's not just charm, that's influence. The average guy focuses on surface beauty. You're pretty, nice smile. But a perceptive, emotionally aware man notices something deeper. He sees the effect her smile has on the people around her. Music, that kind of smile, the kind that puts people at ease, that feels like warmth in a cold room, is rare. And when you acknowledge it, you're saying, I don't just see how you look, I see what you bring. That's not just a compliment. Music, that's recognition of power. Most men never notice this because they're too focused on appearances, but her smile isn't just part of her beauty, music, it's part of her influence. When you see that and speak on it sincerely, you're showing emotional intelligence that sets you apart. A stoic man is aware of the energy he carries. He doesn't need to be loud to be strong. He operates from presence, intention, and calm control. So when he speaks, his words land deeply. When you notice her smile and express it with genuine respect, she feels seen, and very few things are more unforgettable than that. Compliment number 3, I admire how real you are. You don't try to fit in. Music, you're simply yourself. Let's be honest. We live in a world full of filters, not just online, but in everyday life. People wear masks constantly, shaping themselves into what they think others want. Authenticity, on the other hand, is rare. When you tell a woman, I love how real you are, you're not offering a casual compliment. You're validating one of the bravest choices someone can make today, choosing to be unapologetically themselves. While the world rewards conformity and punishes honesty, she chooses truth. That's not just attractive, that's magnetic. Women hear compliments about their looks all the time. Beautiful, sexy, stunning. But when a man looks deeper and says, I respect your authenticity, it hits differently. You're not admiring the mask. You're admiring the person underneath it. You're saying, I see who you truly are, and that's what I value. Authenticity. Thank you isn't always neat or polished. Sometimes it's messy, imperfect, and even uncomfortable, but it's always real, and real will always carry more weight than perfect. From a Stoic perspective, this is powerful. A Stoic man values truth over trends. He aligns with who he is, not who the world tells him to be. So when he recognizes that same strength in someone else, it creates respect. When you give this compliment, you're saying she doesn't need to change. The real version of her is already enough. In a world full of people pretending, that kind of recognition means everything. Compliment number 4. I love the way you see the world. It's so unique and it genuinely makes music me think. Let's face reality, the world is full of copies. People running on autopilot, repeating the same opinions, following the same routines, blending into sameness. But every once in a while, you meet someone different, someone who questions things, someone who thinks deeply and sees life from a different angle. When you tell a woman you admire the way she sees the world, you're not just being poetic. You're recognizing her mind, music, her perspective, her individual lens on life. You're telling her that her thoughts matter, that her way of thinking inspires you. In a culture obsessed with appearances and groupthink, that kind of acknowledgement is rare and it leaves a lasting mark. That's exactly why it lands so deeply. Music. Here's the reality. Most men only pay attention to what's on the surface. Music, her looks, her clothes, her outward vibe. But the moment you notice what's beneath that surface, how she views the world, how she interprets chaos, how music, she creates meaning out of uncertainty, you elevate the interaction from simple attraction to something profound. Music, you're telling her without saying it directly, I'm not only drawn to how you look, I'm inspired by how you think. That shift changes music everything. Now she doesn't see you as just another man who wants her attention. She sees you as someone who's genuinely interested in her perspective, someone stimulated by her intellect and inner world. That alone separates you from the crowd. Now, connect this to Stoicism. A Stoic man doesn't blindly follow the masses. He questions music, he reflects. He values clarity of thought, depth of understanding, and the courage to think independently. Music, so when you offer this compliment, you're aligning with those values. You're honoring her vision, her mental freedom, and her depth in a world overflowing with shallow noise. And here's the real magic. When you say, the way you see the world really makes me think, you're doing more than flattering her. You're inviting her to open up, to keep sharing, to explore ideas with you. You're encouraging depth without force. You're creating emotional intimacy without physical contact because you're connecting where it matters most, the mind. That music kind of connection doesn't fade overnight. It stays with her for years. Because while most men chase beauty, you chose to respect depth. And that's the line between being forgettable and being impossible to forget. Music, I love your energy. It's contagious. It genuinely makes me want to become the best version of myself. Music. Let's talk about something many people underestimate. Energy shapes everything. Music, you felt it before. People who drain you the moment they enter a room. You can't always explain it, but their presence feels heavy, negative, music, exhausting. Then there's the opposite type, someone who lifts the atmosphere simply by showing up. They don't demand attention, they elevate it. Music, that's the kind of woman we're talking about here. When you tell her, your energy makes me want to be better, you're offering one of the highest forms of appreciation. You're saying, you inspire growth. You awaken something in me. You push me forward. That carries far more weight than saying, she's attractive ever could. Here's the truth. Life is short. If you're serious about living with purpose, you can't afford to surround yourself with people who drain you. You need those who challenge you, energize you, and raise your standards simply through how they live. When a woman brings that kind of light, that kind of music motivating presence, you acknowledge it. From a Stoic viewpoint, this is essential. The Stoic man values growth above comfort. He surrounds himself with people who sharpen him, who push him beyond complacency into excellence. So when you give her this compliment, you're not praising her mood, you're honoring her impact. She's not just enjoyable to be around, she amplifies your potential. That's not empty praise. That's deep respect. Say it with intention. I love your energy. It makes me want to be the best version of myself. Because when she hears that, she understands she's not only desired, she's admired. And that distinction changes everything. You're honestly one of the most thoughtful people I've ever met. You truly care about others. And it shows. Let's be real. We live in a world obsessed with self-promotion, curated images, and performative kindness. Everyone wants to appear good, but very few are genuinely good. Music, so when you tell a woman this, you're cutting through layers of noise and acknowledging something most people, music, never bother to see. You're not complimenting what she posts or how she presents herself. You're complimenting her character. You're noticing the small things, the way she remembers details others forget, the way she checks in without being asked, the way she goes out of her way to make people feel heard, valued, and understood. That's not surface-level charm. That's substance. That's integrity. It's easy to be attractive. It's easy to be clever. But it's rare to be deeply kind. Most men are so focused on attraction that they overlook what truly creates connection. Thoughtful people give. They nurture, they protect the emotional space around them. They don't dominate a room, they hold it. And when you tell her that you see this in her, you're saying, I see your heart, I see your effort, I see your goodness. That reaches places. Shallow compliments never will. From a Stoic lens, this matters deeply. Stoicism values virtue over vanity, character over appearance. The Stoics believed a meaningful life is built on integrity, empathy, and contribution. So when you acknowledge her thoughtfulness, you're not just making her feel appreciated, you're affirming that goodness is strength, compassion is wisdom, and real value comes from what we give, not what we take. You're honoring what she contributes to the world, not just what she shows it. And she will never forget the man who noticed that. I love how driven you are. Your sense of purpose is genuinely inspiring. Let's talk about drive, that inner fire that separates those who drift through life from those who build something meaningful. Music, in a world obsessed with shortcuts, distractions, and instant gratification, real ambition is rare. So when you acknowledge her drive, you're not just encouraging her, you're recognizing her mission. You're saying, no, I see your discipline. Music, I respect your late nights. I understand the sacrifice behind your goals. That's not flattery, that's awareness. You're not just noticing effort, you're respecting mindset. And here's why that matters. Driven people don't seek validation. They're focused on progress. Music, so when someone truly sees their dedication, it means more than words can express, especially for a woman who's often told to slow down, to settle, to be less intense. When you say her purpose inspires you, you're not just supporting her ambition, you're aligning yourself with it. From a Stoic perspective, this is powerful. A Stoic man knows time is finite, and wasted potential is the greatest loss. He moves with intention, just like she does. So when you recognize her drive, you're seeing a kindred spirit. Music, in a world full of distractions and half-finished dreams, you're telling her she's rare, focused, respect-worthy. That kind of compliment doesn't fade because it honors something deeper than appearance. It honors her direction. You have an incredible way of making people feel comfortable and truly valued. Let's talk about emotional intelligence, that quiet strength that can't be music faked. The ability to make others feel safe, understood, and appreciated. Music simply through presence. Some people walk into a room and command attention. Music, a rare few walk in and create connection. When you tell a woman this, you're speaking directly to her core. Because this isn't about looks or charm. It's about presence. She doesn't need to perform or impress. Music, she simply exists, and people feel better because of it. That is a gift. When you recognize it, you're not praising social skills. You're honoring her capacity to connect, to heal, to make others feel like they matter in a world where many feel invisible. Here's music, the truth. Most people don't know how to truly hold space for others. They're consumed by insecurity or the need to prove something. But she's different. She listens, she adapts, she understands. Music, she lifts others without needing recognition. When you say she has a way of making people feel comfortable, you're telling her her presence is grounding. From a Stoic music point of view, this is one of the highest virtues. Stoicism teaches empathy, music presence, and purposeful connection. To understand before reacting, to listen before speaking. When you acknowledge her emotional intelligence, you're recognizing something increasingly rare. Grace music, and that is unforgettable. These are not just compliments, they are bridges to deeper connection, mutual respect, and lasting chemistry. Because a woman may forget the exact words you used, but she will never forget music how you made her.